Hello everyone and welcome back to FRS Season 5 PC Division 4. We are here at round 4 at the Spa-Francorchamps. 20 corners, 2 DRS zones, and of course the infamous corners of Eau Rouge, Radion, and corners such as Puon. Alongside me this weekend is Rezo and Cookie. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you doing, Cookie?
Hello, I'm doing fine. First time doing commentary for Division 4. Usually that was Division 6, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, looking forward to this race. Spa always brings out the best of the racing for a lot of divisions, and I hope this is no exception. We have a good attendance this week with 17 drivers. PC4 always seeming to have good attendances, and someone around already. Callum on his outlap. Callum actually winning last time out in Baku, so maybe we're looking to get another one this weekend.
Let's go through the standings really quickly. So we have Tez in P1, Callum in P2, Space Ghost in P3, and it looks like Tez has a sizable lead. He has 57 points, and Callum with 36, Space Ghost with 31, Chimichanga with 31 as well. It's a pretty tight field. Anything can happen, but this is an important race for a lot of these drivers.
Yeah, notably, Tez actually, despite being the top of the standings, hasn't actually taken a race win this season. 3 P2s this season, but no wins for him so far. Space Ghost, Madster, who was actually a guest, and Callum taking the race wins this season. But Tez has shown his pace throughout. Callum one of the first people on a lap right now, quite a few though, as he heads towards Lake Calm. Tough to hook up this section. That front right curb on the entry really tests you as he takes the exit nicely, heading towards Brussels. And the exit as well towards No Name, you can really make or break your lap. Invalidating is very easy to do, as there's no room for error with that curb on the right hand side and the barriers that surround it. Puon though taken nicely as head towards the section of campus. You cannot take that inside right curb, but it's very risky to do so with
Callum follows it.
You can see. It is easy to spin on the curbs of campus, and he is a victim
of the curbs.
of that.
Indeed.
Well done saving the car.
Yeah,
oh no!
oh, maybe not. He's made contact. Rejoining the track, and they're both out. Him and Clone Richie.
He drove across the track while Clone Richie was on a hot lap.
Clearly not looking where he was going on his rejoin, and he is out of the session and taking Clone Richie with him. And that is
a shame.
That sucks for Clone
incredible
Richie,
shame.
honestly.
Clone Richie reserving in from Div 6, showing his pace. He could have definitely had put up a time that would have been competitive with this division. Chimichanga putting in a 1:43.5.
Yeah, Chimichanga actually was part of Xbox Div 2, which I commentated over in Season 3. Showed his pace then, got some good results, and yeah, showing his pace today now. A 43.5 is the time to beat right now. Tez close behind. And then them two very much clear of the field, but actually no rest storm. Who tends clear now? That's an incredibly competitive lap time.
The question is, can rest form break the Aston Martin curse? Given what's happened in Div 2 yesterday and what happened in Div 3 today, Aston Martin is looking to get some valuable points for the constructors.
Yeah, they've certainly had a rough time this week, but Trock in P13 not quite as competitive as Reston, but Reston put in a very good lap. Yeah, on with Instinct now, though, the last one to set a baseline at lap time, other than Alfred, who's in the pits. heading towards the infamous bus stop, which was creatively named after what it is. Braking nicely at the 100 meter down to second gear, trying to rotate the car, using those both curbs and then getting it straightened up quickly and to the line. He is top 5, not a bad lap time at all for Instinct.
That's true. That's a very decent lap time.
Not bad at all, just getting a lap time in. A lot of these guys doing well to set a banker early on. So not bad at all.
In the Division 4 that started about an hour ago, the pole position in the quali was around 143.0, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so these guys not doing bad at all at the moment. The top guys especially showing their pace.
Did you mean Div 3?
Div 3, yeah, I'm sorry, Div 3. Yeah,
I
that's
believe
my
the
mistake.
fastest lap was 142.5.
Was it? Oh, was it? Okay, no, sorry then. Sorry.
I put up a 142.7, I believe. And I qualified P3, so there are 3 people within that time frame.
Yeah, it was Ice Kid One and Stark?
Brewski.
Or Brewski, yeah.
These guys setting pretty decent lap times at the moment. Low 43s, maybe some of them able to dabble into the 42s, which would be great lap times for guys of this division. But some guys crucially still in the 45s, so maybe just setting some safe bank laps. And Alfred now going out for his lap time, the last person to actually set a lap time, he will be. If you can get a baseline banker, as he's slowing down to begin his lap time.
I think we could see a few of these guys break into the 142s, and especially with track evolution. They're going to be able to find just a little bit more grip, which is going to help. Oh,
that was a very slow entry from Alfad into a hot lap. That's gonna cost him time.
Too well. You want to be taking a wide exit of the bus stop to you can gain almost half a second by the start of your lap. That will not help him much at all, doubting his lap time like that. But he continues up that 35 meter rise up Eau Rouge to Radion. And heading down the long Kemmel Straight towards Lake Calm, trying to just take a little bit of those curbs to not unsettle the car. This is looking like a good lap time so far. He's hooking up the track nicely as he heads towards Brussels. Really tough corner though to hug the inside as he heads towards
died.
That's true. That's true.
Now through Puon, carrying the speed towards campus and hoping not to make the same mistake Callum did. Staying well clear of the curbs, not hitting the apex quite as much as he wants, and just having to slow down on the exit so he doesn't run wide. Takes Stavolo quite nicely though, as he heads on through Curb Polo and towards Blanchimont. Not look a bad lap time by any means for Alfred. He's gonna nail the bus stop section now, which he didn't do on his outlap, so down into third gear, just going to second on the apex, then back up to third. Doesn't lose the rear this time. This hasn't been a bad lap time.
P7.
44.1, P7. And we'll have to see. Chimichanga looks to be going to the end of his... oh, sorry, that was the other Red Bull. Chimichanga actually started his lap. Tez looked to be on the lap for a second, but may have pulled out and gone back to the pits. So Chimichanga on a lap. Let's see what the Sector 1 split is when he gets towards Lake Calm. To see how competitive this last time could be. He's currently down, but of course Sector 1 is basically one corner, so...
Kobe, you have quite a bit of pace. For the viewers watching, you mind giving us any insight on how you approach some of these curves? Do you risk it to get a couple extra tenths perhaps? Are there certain ones that are completely non-negotiable? or they're ones that you'd like to take a risk every now and then?
Yeah, I'd say the campus curbs are definitely ones where it's when you're going for the out and out lap time, you definitely take them, but it is a big risk because if you misjudge them ever so slightly, you can do what Callum did and go round and lose the car. Corners like Les Combes, you're generally speaking, you're leaving the inside right curb on entry, but maybe using the inside left. A lot of these curbs though at Spa are very unforgiving. Definitely in race, you're not really taking many of them, at least mid-corner, such as campus, where you can go around so easily. It's all about just hooking up the curbs at the right time, like Chimichanga's done at the bus stop here. And he looks to be on a quick lap time now, and that is pole position, 43.2.
Chimichanga looking fast out here.
Yeah, straight out the gate, 5 minutes to go, he'll get one more lap time, maybe look to double into the 42s. That looked a very quick lap though, from Chimichanga. He looked to hook it up nicely.
Yeah, but definitely there's still room to improve, as you could see in his Sector 1 time.
Yeah, always room for improvement. And he looked very quick though, out the gate, and we'll have to see what Reston does, because Reston actually hasn't started another lap time. You can see John Lennon actually in P6 at the moment. Someone who has had a rough start to this season, to DNF 12th and 13th, as he almost goes around. Will he save the car? Just about, does a full 360. So the Lemon keeping the car under wraps just about.
About to put in a solid lap. Oh, just a couple of tenths off.
Yeah, the two McLaren 6 and 7 very close together, mind you. Almost just 200s between them. Lamchuk though hooking up Les Combes very nicely there. He looks to be doing well at the moment. There's actually Instinct that's gone up to pole. I didn't even realise that. By about 200s, he takes pole off Chimichanga. They are very, very close at the top. Lamchuk though looking to topple them potentially as he heads through Les Combes, hugging that inside. You don't want to touch the curbs at Huon. Just using a little bit to rotate the car through campus. This has looked a good lap, keeping it under wraps on the exit.
Agreed, that looks very clean. Very nice line, very tight.
This could be competitive here from Lamchuk. Potentially some time lost here and there, but it's looked very solid. And now as he barrels through Blanchimont and heads towards the bus stop, to slow the car down, braking just after that 100-meter board, hitting that right-hand side curve.
And goes into the pits!
He bails, it seems. Maybe not happy and wants to get a last run in. Must not have been happy with that lap time, it seems. Maybe not enough in it. He looked to be improving though, but maybe just wasn't enough for him. Luck though invalid, I believe, on his in-lap. I'm not sure if anyone's on a hot lap so far, but Space Ghost will be the next one to go on to one. Space Ghost has won a race this season, mind you. Can be competitive, it seems. Won a round one at Australia, but then hasn't replicated the form since. 15th and 7th respectively. But as he begins his lap now, heading towards turn 1, just looking to hook up the source nicely, not touch that inside right curve, and which unsettles the car. He doesn't do so. And now heading towards Eau Rouge and Radion. Space Ghost a little bit, he'll need just under a second, so quite a lot of time Space Ghost needs to find on this final run in the Williams machine. Him and Tez doing pretty well this season, kind of misses the apex of the first Les Combes corner. Hooks up the second nicely though, but then on exit is a little bit slow carrying the speed, heading towards Brussels. A little bit of maybe a lock up on that front right, running out wide, just unsettling the car slightly through No Name it's looked a bit of a scruffy lap here from Space Ghost.
We've got a
No.
DNF from track in Eau Rouge.
Rabion, oh dear.
I can't wait for the race start.
Instinct actually almost went round. The race start could be chaotic here. But as we continue with Space Ghost round Stavlo, he's actually down slightly. That middle sector looked quite scruffy from Space Ghost. But as he heads towards Blanchimon, there's lots of time to find in the bus stop if you do it right. Needs to hook it up nicely though and potentially gain 2 or 3 positions. Needs to find some time though. The car looks a bit unsettled on entry. He just about gets it straightened up though, and as he darts towards the line, it's going to be P6 for Space Ghost. He managed to gain 2 tenths in the last sector. Hez though, down at the moment, so he will not be improving. Space Ghost just toppled there by Oktoberfest. He came right from the bottom, managed a great last run. And actually rest form is on his last lap now.
So far, good start from him.
Yeah, rest
Coming
form.
out of La Source with a lot of traction.
Yeah, rest form just beginning his lap at the right time will get the most out of the track evolution as he heads through Radion. Someone out on the inside left there.
That was
I think that's a-
Alfa Romeo of Oktoberfest.
Yeah, he is not out of the session, but on his in lap.
Yeah, that lap is going to be over.
Rest form heading on the exit. Wow, just keeping the car under wraps there as
He
he
took
heads
it
towards
perfectly.
Charles. Took it perfectly, used all the track available. Keeping the car settled as he heads through No Name. That is a brilliant line there. Just about keeping it under wraps. Throwing it through Puon now. Just tight to the corner, but not touching that curb. An excellent lap so far from Restford. We'll have to see how he's doing through the middle sector split. Just keeping it to the inside.
He sends it!
Hooking up the left curve. He just about keeps it under wraps. And now, he is actually up by almost 2 tenths. He has this in the bag if he can nail the bus stop chicane. This has been a great lap so far. And now, as he heads towards the bus stop chicane, it's all to play for. Chimichanga and Instinct both on laps also, but we'll have to finish on board with rest form as he heads towards the bus stop chicane, hooking it up really nicely in first gear to rotate the car. But he loses it a bit on the traction as he heads towards the line. It's
That's
pole
good enough.
position. It's good enough, but is it good enough in the long term? As Instinct just about avoids a Red Bull there. That might have been. It wasn't Chimichanga. Chimichanga's invalid though. Instinct has a purple sector too. Instinct doesn't need to find a lot of time. Just 400ths in his lap will take this from rest form. It looked to be the teammate of Chimichanga, but as Instinct heads towards the bus stop chicane, he goes a little bit deep on entry, but he rotates the car
Great
nicely.
exit.
Great exit for Instinct. Will it be enough? It is!
Oh, by a
43 flat. Just by a tenth on the dying seconds of the session, Instinct takes pole away from Rest Form. Rest Form fully on it this session. But that is a brilliant lap time of Brim Instinct, and unlucky for Chimichanga, he didn't manage to get a final run in then. Such a tightly packed session here. So much action.
Did we just
think you did more.
see a Alpine retire on the track?
That would be Alpha. I cannot see.
Yeah, probably.
Could possibly be.
Well, what is your take on that quali? What do you think?
Well, Instinct looked absolutely on it. Rest form as well, set the benchmark early, but just couldn't capitalise on it on his last run. Didn't look to get a second run and had to put it all on the table for the last one, and just didn't hook it up quite as well as he perhaps wanted to. Chimichanga as well, showing pace, had a great second one, but just couldn't hook up for his last one. And of course, Instinct doing really well on his final run to get a good size gap. You can see a tenth over the rest of the field. Rest form though doing well in P2, a tightly packed field within the top 10. really anyone of the top 4 was in with a shout there, and I don't know if Tez got a final run either. And October 4th putting in a great last lap time. But yeah, and a very eventful qualifying session where anyone could have come out on top.
All right, let's hear some predictions. Who do you guys think will win it all?
John Lemon. It's gotta be John Lemon.
Yeah, John Lemon, and only John. Everyone will DNF other than John Lemon.
I am gonna have to go with Tez here, Mr. Consistent.
I've gotta be honest, I've expected a little bit more from the quali. I expected the drivers to break the 42 mark.
Yeah, Instinct only really being the closest to doing that. About a tenth to breaking into the 42s, but just couldn't quite get it done. And no one else really close to that mark, I'm afraid.
That's true.
It's difficult to put it together at Spa on any given lap. I'm sure these guys have a lot more pace in them, but to get it right, there might not be that many corners. You might be at full throttle 71% of the time, but to hit each and every one of those corners perfectly over a long period of time is quite difficult.
Yeah, these guys, of course, running ghosting off actually, so they will be have to avoid incidents potentially on this opening lap. Of course, Callum right at the back after taking his first race win of this season at Baku, starting dead on last. So has it all to do in this session, and hopefully not too many lap 1 shenanigans from these guys.
I wouldn't discount Callum. It's Spa. Anything could happen.
Yeah.
1 or 2 safety cars, and then you could go from last to first very quickly. It's all about having the right tire strategy, the discipline, and the patience, all of which I had none. And crashed horribly in my race. But yeah, take it from me, you definitely need to find that consistency for 22 laps. 22 very long laps, mind you. So
Yeah.
best of luck to these drivers.
Yeah, talking of strategy, actually Alfred and Wild-Sized Lad are the only people on the medium compound tyre starting, despite everyone outside the top 10 having free choice, which is odd for me to see unless these guys are expecting a safety car.
They have to be, right? Given what's happened in all the other divisions. Question is, has anyone been bold enough to try underfueling the car?
Yeah, Spa, despite the long nature of it, isn't too bad on fuel. So can afford to underfuel slightly because the braking zones that do occur are usually quite heavy. And actually that is why ERS usage isn't too bad. You can sit at around 30% and it comes back quite quickly. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see how this goes.
I'll take a note that we might see some pretty wild strategies, given that forecast says there might be possible rain later in the race.
That is something. It could potentially be why people are starting on the soft compound tyres. It does look dark out there on track.
Yeah, in that case I would say starting on softs is the only way to go.
Yeah, well,
depends on when the rain comes in, though.
Yeah, but 3, 4, 5 red lights for Spa, and the lights are out and we're away, and it looks to be a good launch for Rest Form actually, going around the outside of Instinct. Instinct hugging the inside, going into La Source, and these guys are side by side for the lead as Tez has gone round in front of the field. But we continue under yellow, no safety cars yet, and actually Callum is out. Callum is out on the run towards Eau Rouge and Radion.
And we've got a
Tough break
virtual
for
safety
Callum.
car.
A VSC already.
Clone Richie,
looked to
you're
be
gaining 4 spots.
the Restform looked to be potentially getting a good run on Instinct, but not to be for him. As you say, Restform gaining 4 spots off the start, Jay Stevens gaining 3, and Leppy gaining 3 also.
It's the major winners here.
Callum having a nightmare start, and Tez spinning on the exit of turn 1. Doesn't look to have picked up any wing damage, potentially.
Same with John Lemon, by the way. He lost 7 spots.
Yeah, John Lemon down 7 spots. Not a good start for him. But, yeah, the front 3 stayed packed together. Restform did look to be getting a run on Instinct, but it just wasn't to be with that virtual safety car. Callum going out on the run towards Eau Rouge. Not sure what happened there. We might have to wait and see what gets said in the chat.
Oh, Tez, it gets worse for him.
Drive-through penalty.
With the drive-through.
Goes from bad to worse for Tez. He's going to have to pray for a safety car now, as he'll have to take a drive-through penalty. It is a nightmare situation. Now Chimichanga very tight to the back of Restform here. Staying on with the leaders. These 3 very tightly packed together. About a second splitting the front 3 here. Chimichanga very close behind. But Restform is going to have to look to get a good run here up to the top. But Radio Restform goes round! Restform is round and into the barrier! He is able to keep it out the wall, breaking his suspension, but he has 0 front wing.
The curse of Aston Martin lives on.
It was an absolute nightmare for Restform, and the 2 Aston Martins are right at the back of the field. And it gets from bad to worse for the Aston Martin group, who look to be so promising. But he goes round. And now the front 2 are in a world of their own. 1.4 clear of the field. Instinct and Chimichanga are leaving the field for dust.
We just talk about this Aston Martin curse for a moment and appreciate the fact that in Div 2, 3, and now 4, there were Aston Martins in podium position, and we completely bottled it.
Well, in the case of Xbox, they came 2 and 3, so maybe it's a PC thing.
Maybe.
But as we continue, about to go to lap 3, Chimichanga will probably be able to gain a little bit of the gap towards Instinct with the aid of DRS. It's almost like an assist. They can gain you about 4/10 on a back straight. So if you're just able to stay with them till lap 3, Alpha is very deep on the brakes, on those medium compound tyres, on the back of well-sized lad. He is close behind.
And the DRS is enabled.
DRS is enabled, but you can see Instinct will be using his overtake, because you can see the delta going up. He would have been trying to use his overtake to get that gap up and not have the DRS, but you can see the gap will most likely shoot down a little bit with the aid of DRS. On with Chimichanga, it goes down to about 6/10 and to 5/10. You can see how much was gained there, but he takes a little bit of the curb to come. Might have unsettled the car a little bit. No overtakes made yet with the aid of DRS. But the middle of the field tightly packed together here. Seem to be in for a good bunch of racing areas. Daft goes very deep on Brussels. On the exit curb as well, that'll unsettle the car, and Lamchub is able to close up just a little bit. The front 2, though, very close together at the moment, with just half a second between them. And
This
staying on the lead
race
now.
has huge implications for both Instinct and Chimichanga. The winner of this race will likely take the lead in the division standings, so this is definitely a fight we're going to have to watch in the future.
These guys will be going at it for a lot of the race, I hope. But they are very close together here. as Callum has left the session after his early DNF, sadly.
A nice
Half
little
a second.
squabble happening with Mercedes and the midfield here. We got
Yep.
4 cars going in and out of overtaking
Chop and Clone
positions.
Richie close together. 4 cars next to each other here within the DRS. Jimmy Chong is setting the fastest lap. He's 6/10 back. I think that'll be too far to make it overtake. But these 4 going at it at the moment in a bit of a train.
Speaking of the train, Povey, if you were at the end of it, what kind of strategies would you use for your
Lamp
ERS
Chop
deployment?
almost
Lamp
loses
Chop
it.
almost loses it.
Oh wow,
What a
and that is
save.
sadly gonna maybe lose him out to his teammate Clone Richie going down the inside of him. Let's see if he can get this move done late on the brakes. They're both very respectful.
Oh, you don't want to touch that!
no!
You do not want to touch that curb, and he's letting the cars by. Hopefully letting the lemon by as well. He does, and now we'll be able to flick spin around, but that is so unfortunate. Looked to be tight racing, but just gave each other too much respect.
Meanwhile, Chimichanga is still very close to Instinct.
Yeah, and
Hiding
actually
his time.
in that faff, Jay Stevens has gotten past Daft. These 2 close together. You were saying about the strategy for potentially being in a train. If you nail the undercut on about lap 7, it can actually be very powerful if you use the tyres on your outlap to great effect. It's a soft medium, but yeah, lap 7 is about the earliest you want to be pitting. Half a second is the gap between these guys, and Instinct looks to be in a bit less ERS than Chimichanga. And actually, Chimichanga very close behind as they head towards turn 1.
This is exactly how I'd play it with the ERS usage. Kind of just let Instinct burn out his ERS as much as he can. Trying to create separation under the DRS zones. Yeah, as soon as that ERS is out, the overtake should be quite easy.
Yeah, unfortunately for Chimichanga, he didn't get a chance to go for an overtake. He actually took a bit too much curb at the source. Did not end well for him. Half a second is the gap though. No one looking to make an overtake just
Lamb
yet.
Chop
It's
just
actually-
overtook Daft.
Yeah,
Yep.
Lamb Chop side by side still with Daft. Daft round the outsiders. He does hang it in there, but they're still side by
he
side.
sticks
Heading
his
to
nose
contact.
No! He's gone deep and hit the side of Daft down the inside. Just keeps it under wraps. He might get it going again. He is. He's just behind Alpha though on the mediums, and he maybe just tried to keep it from too far back.
That was an
was
ambitious
very-
move.
Yeah,
from
very
Lamb Chop.
late on the brakes. And just looked to lock up and go straight into the side of him. Very unlucky for Lamb Chop. A good little squabble between him and Daft, but sadly did not end well. And the only real tight battles here are between Instinct and Chimichanga, and actually Locke is on the back of Space Ghost.
The gap between Instinct and... Oh, we've got a slow Williams.
Oh, it's
Oh no, he
And
just
that was-
reset the track.
Yeah.
naughty. Pez
He
just having an
is
awful
what we
day.
like to call tilting right now. He's having a bad race.
Oh, he's absolutely livid, I presume.
Clone Richie with the fastest lap. Clawing his way back into it.
Yeah. Using everything he can to get back into this race.
So, I should have probably taken notes for myself, and I did, but I didn't listen to myself. But this is where things get tricky on the soft tires. You start losing a lot of grip, your rear slips out more than you'd like, and you have to be really careful going into these last few laps because of the tire wear, and you have to look for the undercut as well. So, trying to switch onto those mediums, it's all about good timing and execution. Oh, and looks like someone went off in sector 1.
I think.
Lamb
that
Chop.
is Lamb Chop, yeah. In sector 1. And actually, something to note, Chimichanga is the closest he's ever been for Instinct through the middle sector. This could be the lap where he gets the move done. Instinct goes very wide through the exit of Stavolo and almost ends up hitting the shed on the outside left.
That part of the track I find is a little glitchy. Like, for whatever reason, if you hit the curbs on the exit there,
Yeah,
seems to get a little bit more grip and it keeps you on track.
Ooh,
Oh, Instinct going for the pit.
It's on lap 6. Very early. His tyres will be screaming by the end of this race. And actually, Leppy, maybe the tyre wear not so bad on PC as to Xbox, but this is a very early time to pit. in my opinion.
It is.
And
It is pretty early. Oh, Chimichanga! Oh, he almost lost it. I know it wasn't on screen, but he almost lost it at Rouge.
Chimichanga pushing very hard. You can see using a lot of his overtake on this in lap. He's trying to claw the gap back because Instinct will have the upper hand here if he can nail his in lap. It is very much all to play for at the moment.
Yeah, let's see how good this undercut is from Instinct and how that plays out. Otherwise, the only close battle we have is between Space Ghost and Leppy.
Yeah, if Instinct can do this right, we should be able to reap the benefits. But we will have to wait and see. Space Ghost, though, as you said, just on the back of Leppy. Nowhere really to make a move, though, in the middle sector. Not a lot of space to do much there. Closing up, though, nicely on the mediums. And we will have to see. I think Chimichanga will pit this lap. He does. Entering the pits.
Let's see if he ends up coming out in front of Instinct.
We have Space Ghost lining up a move on Leppy now. Oh, he comes up behind it.
Lock is on intermediates.
No.
What is happening?
Maybe he knows something we don't. I don't know.
I'm not sure. Doesn't look to be much rainfall at the moment. Perhaps there is wet weather coming, but he has just rolled the dice way too early.
I completely forgot about the wet weather. It's going to be interesting.
Takes Leppy on the DRS straight. It will be interesting, but I think he's rolled the dice a bit early there. Well, not having much of that. He's trying, but it's...
If the rain doesn't come in for another 10 to 15 minutes, this could be a huge win for Well-Sized Lad or Alfad. Especially considering they're on 7-lap old mediums, they could go on for a bit longer without too much of an issue. And yeah, depending on how things unfold from here on out, these guys could be big winners in terms of tire choice.
Chimichanga getting past Clone Richie, and now Instinct. Well, he's gonna have to hope that Instinct gets held up with, by Alpha and Well-Sized Lad fighting, though Instinct and Alpha both teammates. Maybe Alpha will be kind of letting past.
Or keep them in the DRS train, keep each other in it.
Chimichanga's gonna have to hope to catch up very soon.
Alfad playing team orders here, letting Instinct right by. That's a good teammate right there.
Yeah. Now Instinct should be able to get past Well-Sized Lad relatively quickly as Well-Sized Lad almost goes round.
Got a little loosey-goosey.
Chimichanga needs to try get DRS this lap, but he just cannot. And he is going to lose out massively because he will catch up to these guys, but catch up in the middle sector. That is the last thing he wants.
Burning his DRS right now. He wants this position. And it's his. This is a huge move.
Instinct takes the lead of the race on track, and now will be able to run away, I think.
Chimichanga closing that gap in front of him very quickly. A little too ambitious as he goes wide.
Alpha D is using 100% of the track, even the grass.
Unfortunately for Chimichanga, he's going to be stuck behind these two guys for a lap. And that is allowing Instinct to get away.
No, Chimichanga is fast. He wants to get past these guys as fast as possible. He's pushing, but well-sized lad is helping out Instinct here, keeping everyone behind him. While Instinct is building a very comfortable lead, 2-second gap so far.
Alpha
I
with the
feel like this
overtake
is-
on the inside.
Chimichanga going around.
What a
his teammate.
move!
That is a brilliant move. And
He's
now
going for
looking
two!
to get
He's going for
Alfred.
two!
2 and 2, but Alfred is
Oh!
going to run wide because Alfred will get the DRS down the straight. Chimichanga is going to have to run for his life and hope to get at least about a 6/10 gap, but look at the ERS that Alfred has. Chimichanga just might not be able to defend from this. 2 tenths is the gap, and no, his
He
teammate,
closes
Instinct
so
teammate
quickly.
will just get past, and Chimichanga will be absolutely livid. Alfred is playing the team game to perfection.
He's defending like a lion.
And now Chimichanga is.
Oh, someone went off in
losing
sector
massive
one.
his truck
And that's track
as
DNFing.
well.
No!
Sector 1.
Safety car!
Safety car! On lap
Yes!
10, truck is out, and this saves a lot of drivers. 12 laps remaining.
What does Althad do here, Povey? Do you think he stays out? Because eventually they will have to switch to intermediates at some point? Presumably?
Well, presuming it rains, but look, you can see that it hasn't started dripping yet. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't think it would be worth it. I think if anything, it'd be kind of maybe, well, Alfred and Chimichanga, Alfred and Well-Sized Lad kind of at a bit of a crossroads right now. Because what can they do?
Well, if it is going to rain soon, I personally would probably switch onto the softs. Especially if I had
You'll
one
have
of the
to see.
older...
Alfred does pit. Let's see what they are pitting for. Into the pits, Alfred goes.
Cody's is giving what the people want. Instinct versus Chimichanga.
And onto the softs he goes.
I think
As
that's the right
space
move.
goes.
They have the weather report. We do not. So I'm sure it's going to
Well-Sized
rain
Lad
at some
actually
point.
on hard.
Oh,
So maybe not. Base goes pits for another pair of softs. John Lennon will pit for a set of mediums. Locke is back in this as well as Tez though. And now the guys at the front are a lot closer together than they were.
yep. That was a huge safety car for Chimichanga. Not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping for it. I wanted some excitement in the race. And we have it now.
Do you expect we'll see some shambles during the safety car restart?
Yes. Absolutely.
I think that's a rhetorical question.
And maybe not even expect, but hope, at the very
Yeah.
least.
I think it's a matter of when.
The
Not
problem,
to encourage bad driving, but shambles is fun.
the problem on this
Only when
track
you're not involved.
with this game is that the safety car and the message about it going in this lap is very inconsistent, where sometimes it shows at the start of sector 3 and sometimes it shows only right before bus stop chicane, which causes major slowdowns to give gap to the safety car.
Luckily for us, Tez will catch up pretty much midway through the next lap because of how long the lap is here at Spa. So I think all should be good in that regard. Everyone is bunched up apart from Tez, who will catch up relatively soon, and we should be going green next lap. Lap 11 out of 22, we're halfway through, and I think there's plenty of action to come. This race has brought some good racing to us so far, and I think that is going to continue with this battle for the lead between Chimichanga on slightly fresher tyres, allowed to catch up to Instinct after his teammate Alfred played so well.
Okay.
Uh-oh. What?
Well,
did that just red flag us?
I'm not sure what happened. We'll take a quick break and see you soon. Okay, we're...
Welcome back. After some minor technical difficulties, you'll see that the timing tower is still messed up from showing the quality order because the masters of code have fully struck again. Hopefully, when they take over the timing line in this lap, we will be able to see the actual running order, which is Instinct followed by Chimichanga. But we continue, and hopefully all is resolved in regards to the spectating glitches. Instinct very late on this restart here. And now going to the line, he gets going, but crucially Chimichanga is right behind him. And this session is not being nice to us. But Chimichanga has taken the race lead here.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to
leave and rejoin.
Yeah, that's probably the best idea.
Sadly for us, we're gonna have to leave and rejoin, guys.
Okay, we will back soon then.
So, as we continue now with all timing errors restored, you can see the front three very closely packed together as October 4th was very deep on the brakes and actually almost hits the back of Chimichanga, maybe spooked by that. He's lost a lot of time. And now he's under pressure from Lepi, but we continue with Chimichanga, who will be looking to retake that lead that he lost just previously on the lap. Chimichanga just behind Instinct now. You can see Alfred the only on the softs. He's just trying to make some moves but cannot do so at the moment. And now DRS enabled for Chimichanga is out.
Daft.
Is Daft. Daft is out. No safety car yet, but there is now. And now they are in. After another safety car, they are in the position that they should be
McLaren!
taking off.
What just happened?
John! The lemon is out! I have no idea what just happened, and I did not get the POV of that.
I've got it. It's recorded.
Describe us with the scenes of what has just happened.
Well, they were going pretty much side by side in the Camel Straight, but they slowed down because there is a safety car. And it seems Luck slowed down quite immensely, which made John Lemon drive into his rear.
That is so unfortunate for John Lemon. And actually, for the sake of Space Ghost, he's been able to pit a lot earlier than everyone else. And actually, Alfred might be able to go to the end on his soft tyres. But John Lemon is out of this session as quick as Daft was. So unfortunate.
That was so ridiculous though. Why? How did that even happen?
Absolutely crazy teens going into this. It just gets crazier and crazier. And now, into the pits, not everyone. And that is crazy to me, because I think everyone should be pitting for softs. Leppy pits, Quan Ritchie pits, all pitting for softs, but crucially,
that is
no
true,
one else.
yeah.
I'm surprised.
It's a prime time to switch it onto softs.
Absolutely. I can't believe this. And this is absolutely insane. It just gets crazier and crazier.
This race is very
Wow,
giving,
but
but
these guys,
yeah, go ahead.
these guys just. It gets from bad to worse for some drivers, and it just keeps getting better and better for others. Like Tez being given a second lifeline is now in 8th after being almost a minute back. Base goes look to be back in it, but now it's a 10-second time penalty, and John Lemon is out of the session because of the safety car.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that someone will have a better look at that collision between Luck and John Lemon, because that was very weird. But anyways, what I was going to say is that I find it very refreshing to see a fight for the P1 in a race being so close as it is here right now.
Yeah, and actually, with people like Alfred on the softs and others that are like Restful on the softs, there is a chance they could come through the field, though a very slim one with how much traffic is on the mediums. Actually, well-sized lad is on the hards. Surprised he did not pit. He would have only dropped to 8th.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna struggle against people on mediums and softs that are, well, basically new tires.
Yep, new softs for a final stint. It's yeah, surprising that he hasn't pitted. These guys will have one more lap under the safety car, and then we'll be green flag racing. What, 6 laps.
So, what is your prediction for the win race here, huh?
Oh, I don't know if I can call this, if I'm honest. It could be either driver, they're both very quick, and also could be Alfred. And with the shambles that has gone on previously in this race, I just could not pick a name. In my opinion, it could be literally anyone.
Exactly.
Space Ghost pits again to serve a 5-second time penalty.
I'm gonna be honest with you here. I could even see Clone Richie winning this race still.
Honestly, it's just anyone's game at the moment. The two leaders seemed in a world of their own in qualifying, but now, with Oktoberfest, he looked quite pacey for a lap or two when he was with them. So, I think taking a guess to who it could be it's a fool's game.
Well, the safety car should be going in this lap.
Safety car now entering the pit lane. Well, will be entering the pit lane this lap. The field all bunched together.
Everyone is on pretty much full ERS. Very young tires. It should be very interesting. Yep, the safety car is in this lap. Instinct is letting safety car create a gap.
Yeah. Spacing himself. Maybe looking for again a late restart. Look how tight the field is though.
Yeah, that...
So close together, all of them. They're extremely tightly back here, heading towards the line for the restart. And now Instinct does go, but yet again Oktoberfest goes deep.
Instinct loses it.
Instinct loses the traction on the exit of the final corner, and Oktoberfest is now right behind Chimichanga. And now Instinct has it all to do as he gets a little tap from Well-Sized Lad as well. It is absolutely crazy scenes now, as it's anyone's game.
And Alpha gets a 3-second penalty.
Corner cutting penalty for Alpha. He wanted to get his moves done quickly, but Oktoberfest suddenly out of absolutely nowhere has a chance for the race victory. Unbelievable scenes right now, and now Instinct has all the work to do to retake this lead.
I've gotta say, I don't think... Oh, some very close action between Lamp Chop
and Well-Sized Lad, very close. Well-Sized Lad really struggling on those cars as they head side by side towards P1. No one backs out. Well-Sized Lad runs wide, and now as they head towards Campers, he wants to get this move done badly. He switches to the inside, he breaks late. That's not an overtaking zone, though. Lamb Chop cannot get the move done against Well-Sized Lad. He's just getting held up more and more. Well-Sized Lad lost almost 4 seconds in one lap to the cars ahead. And now it's all aboard a trolley train here. These guys just completely getting held up by the hard tyre runner. The soft tyre runner's not been able to do anything so far.
And that Red Bull has so much rear. We've got a yellow flag here.
Oh, and does Instinct again! Instinct has gone off.
No, he went into the pits.
He's
He
come
didn't-
to the pit. He might have wing. He must have made contact with somebody. As he heads into the pit, he must have wing damage.
No,
He doesn't. He
there
just.
was no wing damage.
There's no wing damage.
Why did he pit? Is he gonna go for the fastest lap?
No idea what the logic behind that is.
But that was a podium.
What on earth happened there?
That is so ridiculous.
I think he looked to drop back
Oh
in
no!
the field. Oh! Is that off? Is that out? That is
It's
10.
Tez, yeah. He collided
off,
with the
he's
Ferrari
not
of
out.
Leppy.
He is not out, but he has gone off after having almost a second chance here. And actually, to know, Oktoberfest has a 3-second penalty. So all Chimichanga has to do is bring it home as Clone Richie goes around the outside of campus on Jay Stevens. They run side by side. Really tight, and what a move! Clone Richie from the inside of P1 to the outside of campus, and Jay Stevens seems to have been seems to have been a bit scarred from that, and has now lost out another position on the exit of Stavelo.
Yeah, Leppy just going right through.
Unbelievable.
Are we looking
overtake
at the
from
fight
Clone
between
Richie.
two Mercedes?
Clone Richie is now down the inside of his teammate Lambchop, who's on the mediums. Lambchop couldn't get the move done on well-sized ladder, but Clone Richie wants to do that and get up into 4th place. Does Clone Richie have enough time to close that massive gap well-sized ladder's made? Leppy also going past Lambchop. Lambchop being held up by well-sized lad, and that has cost him dearly in the later stages. And now it is all to play for with Clone Richie. If he can put his foot down, he has a chance to get P2 in here.
Jay Steven has lost so many positions in just one lap. But it doesn't seem like he has any damage on the front wing. Clone Richie going for an overtake on a well-sized lap, finally getting through the only car on the hard tires.
Leppy, after getting the move done, just got retook under DRS, but now Clone Richie needs to catch up a lot of time. Needs 3 seconds in 3 laps, which could be possible on those soft tyres. He needs to gain it quickly though. Does not have a lot of time.
I think if anyone can do it, it's Clone Richie, to be honest.
He has looked on it today, no doubt about it. Alfred is on old soft as well. He will lose a lot of time during the late stages of this race, but they are getting pulled along by DRS. Clone Richie may just do it. He has 3 full racing laps to do it. He's within 5.9 and we should see this gap drop. 3 laps, he needs 2 seconds per lap, and he is gaining. Fastest lap of the race for Clone Richie. As Jay Stevens pits also, Instinct still has a chance of
What
points as
happened
Restorm's
here?
round. He is round and he's backwards, and look at this.
Both
Instinct
Lack
has a
and
chance for
Restform.
points. Both drivers facing the wrong way out of turn 1, and now Instinct can still get points despite going round himself. And now Leppy finally gets round well-sized ladders. Who is that off?
That would
It's
be Lampchop.
Oh dear. He just got usurped by everyone else on those new tyres, and now it gets from bad to worse. He might just hang on for some points if he can just keep a gap to Restorm. Alfred though still hanging on well despite those old softs. But Clone Richie not gaining the time he needs. 5.2 seconds is the gap. 5 seconds now, he's gained 1 second in a lap, but he needs so much more. He needs he needs 5 more seconds.
Well, no, he needs only 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
He could do it. He could
Do
actually go for a podium here.
Second a lap, Clone Richie needs. Heading towards the final lap, it's just the DRS that is not helping him. These guys get away almost 6/10 a straight.
The gap between Clone Richie and Alpha is slightly going down. I would assume it's gonna go down more rapidly in Sector 2.
Look at how far it gets as they are battling now, Oktoberfest and Alphard. We'll have to see what happens between these two. Alphard, though, trying to make a move. Oktoberfest is not allowing it at the moment, but Oktoberfest, crucially, is falling outside the DRS of Chimichang, which might leave him vulnerable. As Alphard is very, very close behind, but this is losing them crucial time. 4.3 is the gap.
Yeah, they are certainly playing into Clone Richie's hands. So the gap now is only 3.8 seconds. He needs less than a second. Chimichanga loses it.
Chimichang,
He has no front
leading
wing.
the
He
race.
lost it completely.
he has completely bottled it. And now, Clone Richie could win this race.
He really could. I told you Clone Richie can win this race from P10.
Clone Richie out absolutely nowhere has a
But-
shout to win this race.
Chimichanga without front wing is gonna held up Clone Richie now. That's not great.
It's not great at all. Chimichanga does not pit on the final lap of the race. Clone Richie needs to get him on that DRS straight.
No! Ay, ay, ay.
Oh, it's going from bad to worse. He needs to get the move done. He just about gets ahead. And now on lap 22, what is the gap for Clone Richie? He's been held up so massively.
4.3 seconds. He won't be able to do it.
1.3. He needs a lot of time, but these guys' tyres are dying. He needs a second. He's gained a lot of time by having that DRS, but he lost a lot in the first and last sector. He needs a second. The gap is tumbling down now. It's 3.9, 3.8, 2/10 in the last two corners. On with Clone Richie. He is doing everything he can for this race win, because Alfred and Oktoberfest will be battling. 3.6 is the gap. He's gained another 2/10, another half a second. The gap is flying down. Clone Richie is absolutely on it. He barely has any ERS. The gap is 3.4 seconds, but it is flying down. 3.3 now. He needs 3/10.
It's gonna be very close.
He's doing everything he can. He's done everything he can all race from P10. He has a chance to take his first ever race to win.
4
But the
tenths,
gap is flying
5
up
tenths.
with the delta because he's out of overtake. He needs a lot, but these two are battling crucially.
Oh,
Oktoberfest
no.
has gone deep, and Alfred could just take it. He doesn't. And now Clone Richie might have the gap.
Almost
He only
wins
has
the
it by
race.
a tenth.
Almost
So
wins the
close.
race from P10 during the restart of the last safety car.
So unlucky. It was nothing.
It was a complete roulette. As I said, anyone can win this race, and Clone
It
Richie
was
pretty much
anyone's
proved
race.
that. It's gonna be a sad day for Instinct and Chimichanga. So, who was your driver of the day?
It has to be Clone Richie.
I agree. I agree with both of you on the game. Again, such a solid drive, very consistent. Not the fastest, but the consistency is key. Slow and steady wins the race.
He was absolutely on it in that last lap, and if not for a lack of ERS, he was, he had a chance.
I mean, and not even slow and steady. He was quite
He was
quick.
flying.
Yeah,
He was flying.
Well, let's take a look at the final standings. October 4th with a win, followed by Clone Richie, Alpha D, Leppy, Well-Sized Lad, sadly Chimichanga on P6, Instinct on P7, Space Ghost, Lag, and Lamb Chop closes the top 10 for the points, followed by Restform, Tess, Jay Stevens, John Lemon, Daft, Track, and Callum. Just gonna take a quick look at the incidents.
That was an absolutely insane finish. And Clone Richie, a 10th to his first victory here. October 4th took it. And Clone Richie could have taken it if not for just being held up ever so slightly. But that was an absolutely insane race, and I'm so happy to have seen it firsthand.
That's true. That was a very exciting race. We've had a great fight for the lead in the first half, and then complete chaos in the second half of the race. So I'm very glad that I've been able to see it with my own eyes.
Yeah, an insane race. I'm very happy. Very happy I got to commentate over this first PC race that I've commentated over. So yeah, very much enjoyed it.
Likewise. Well, thank you for tuning into the race. That was Division 4, Race 4 of Season 5 in Belgium. Have a nice evening and see you maybe next time. Bye.
Bye bye.